for now. We'll modify things as we go if we need to. Okay, so yeah, that feel right. All right, so I'm not trying to, take the composition too literally currently. I'm still just kind of getting the feel for whatever's happening here. Okay, alright. I feel like maybe the distance can imply a little bit further there. I'm just using this pencil for the first time, so we'll see if how it smears for me. Alright, so then we're going to move on to a little bit of a larger piece of charcoal. Can we see that in there? Yeah. How you doing? Okay, now we're just going to find the shadows. Still not trying to take anything too literally yet, just kind of, if I see a shadow or recognize a shadow, I'm going to draw the shadow. I'm not necessarily going to concern myself about if I've put it in the perfect place. Just want to roughen the idea of the image. That makes sense. If I get too concerned with the with all the details and the proportions and everything, I start to not have the best time. I wish this whole image was pushed over a little bit. So I try not to focus on the details much and just kind of draw it rough. Okay, so he's got fingers here. Alright, he's got some fingers here. Alright, with his wrist. Something like that. We could see a bit of his hand and his wrist here too. Something like that. That means we've got an arm here. These arms are... So that looks like I got a shadow here I must be missing. Let's grab that shadow. Something like that. Alright, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I'm starting to see our guy here. Alright, so what we do feel like we're missing is like some vertical machinery inside this thing. Maybe even have a little bit of darker here. Alright, so now we'll take our paper towel and kind of start smudging to find some variation between the dark areas and the light areas. Smudge around like this, you kind of get an instant variation. Alright, so now what we'll do, I'm trying to smudge over into this negative space on this side. Maybe it'll help fill out this room a little bit, kind of balance it out. So now what we do is we just look for highlights. Alright, so looking for highlights here. Oh, I guess we could have zoomed in, huh? Boom. Alright, so let's start finding some highlights here. I also feel like maybe, even though it's not, but like, kind of needs a little bit more weight up there. Okay, so where are highlights at? I feel like he's got a highlight here on his, what is his forehead? Right. I'm doing the same thing where I'm If I see a highlight, I'm gonna try to catch that highlight, but I'm not sure if I'm putting them in the exact correct places. But but it's okay. I can just put some highlights in there where I feel like there should be from the image, and if everything doesn't all line up, uh, we'll call it creative liberty. You know, again, when I'm drawing, I don't want to stifle the fun with rules. You know, it's jazz. You don't have to color inside the lines. You can color right off the page if you want. But, you know, I know what the rules are and I am following rules, so it's not like I'm just not doing the fundamentals. There's a way of like focusing on some fundamentals and disregarding other things, where it's like I am focusing on shadow and highlights and dynamics, but I'm not focusing on, you know, proportion or realism. I'm not really focusing on economy. I'm just putting it all down, you know? And then seeing what it looks like. I'm kind of liking where this guy's going. So I think what we'll do here is find some more areas of like light and dark. So like a really dark spot here, maybe a really dark spot here. Start here so we kind of give the audience an idea of where the eyes are. Makes me think that we gotta get some eyebrows in there. So I'm just trying to add some like extra shadowy areas in places where I might want the audience to focus. Hands, eyes, ears, face, right down the middle. Something like that. Kind of bring in some highlights and stuff here. I feel like we need to bring out something here. Like that, maybe. You know, how does that start to feel there? And then I think maybe a couple highlights on his arm over there. I think we could start to, I think I could start to get behind that. All right, so now what we need to do with these new lines, soften them up a bit. You know, kind of let them kind of melt into the drawing a bit more so they don't feel like those afterthoughts. And when we do that little smudging there, it's going to soften some of those highlights. So we need to bring those highlights back. So one last time, let's double check where some of our brightest highlights are. Cross his fingers here. On his hand. I say fingers, you can see these shapes are crude approximations, but I think that's kind of the fun. Alright, something there, something here. Alright, and then last but not least, I like to find like a real dark area in a pupil here. In both pupils. And then use my electric eraser to pull out like a highlight. Something like that. If you can see that on the screen. And there we go. That's our jazz guy. What do you think? Fun, I like him. Alright, let's keep going. I think we're going to do all jazz guys today. Or gals. Or non-binary pals. We're just doing jazz musicians. Here, do we want to... Get some closer details of what that guy looks like. Hey, what's that one, Toenail? Thank you so much. Be sure and subscribe. That last Toenail. We're also in a a horizontal stream on YouTube if you click on the channel, and we're also on Twitch. You know, I'm right outside the camera, but there's another stream that's horizontal if you click on the channel. You want to go outside, kitty boy? Are you an artist, Toenail? Let's do another drawing. We're gonna draw on jazz musicians today, unless you have a request. See what we got here. See what we got here. Oh, that's a fun one. Let's try that one. Alright, let's give it another shot here. Can you do a clarinet? Yeah, I can. I'll try my best. Are you an artist, Toe? What kind of art do you do? Okay, so let's do a clarinet. Alright, this gal, should we do it side? No, we'll just figure it out. Alright, you ready? This is a clarinet for that one toenail. Alright, so maybe this actually. Okay. Alright, and then like that. Try not to. I don't want to be too concerned with my drawing just yet. My main goal is to kind of have fun putting lines on the paper. You know how when you've done your signature so many times that it's fun to like write your name. I try to keep that kind of idea in mind when I'm drawing. Like, I'm not trying to draw the perfect image. I want to draw lines that are fun. And I kind of feel like that does a lot of the heavy lifting for me. It's like whether the drawing's perfect or some of that stuff can be irrelevant maybe if I'm having fun with the lines. I guess. I don't know. That's my goal. Okay, so here's some fingers here. Some fingers here. Fingers here, which means we got wrists kind of here, and then our hands kind of here. Something like that. Alright, and then let's do some kind of the face here. Something like this. You know. She's kind of wearing a bit of a low-cut shirt there, but we'll deal with that later. Okay, so I got some basic lines there, an idea. Oh, yeah. Toe, if you want to join the Discord, I can put it in the chat on Twitch. Or maybe it'll pop up here. You could share some of your art, and we'll take a look at it. At the end of the streams, we look at community art. But no pressure. You don't have to if you're not. So what I'm doing here is I'm just looking for shadows I'm not gonna be too concerned with, um, proportions or mostly anything like that. Like I'm really just going to, if I see a shadow somewhere, I'm gonna try to capture it. If it's not in the right place, or there's not like a structure there already to place it, then that's okay. I just put it there anyway. Sometimes it's a good practice in knowing when to take things critically. Uh, by knowing when not to take things critically, you know? It's like some things, some battles are worth the fight, and sometimes, it's like, just put some shading down. This isn't a battle we're choosing. This is just for fun, Okay, so we kind of got a basic um, structure here. I think. I feel like it's not quite anchored. Does that kind of give us more of an anchor there? Maybe. Okay. Gotta trust the process. Next move is let's get these things smearing. Yeah, so this is the part that always makes me nervous. But it also seems to kind of brings the drawing to life too, though, so. Trust the process. Trust the process. Okay, alright. Not sure what we're doing here, but let's keep going. Next move. Find the highlights. Find the highlights. Alright, so there's a lot of highlights here on her face. On her nose like this. And there's some of this that's like cubist thought, where it's like you can put all the pieces and parts in the wrong places, but make sure that all the pieces and parts are still there and that they all get the attention and that they're treated delicately and treated like important parts of the drawing, even if they're not necessarily, in the right spots. Still give them their gravitas. I guess. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to do. I gotta be honest, y'all. Not loving the way this one's currently looking, but sometimes they'll come together. So I'm gonna just be patient, trust the process, and see if it starts to come together for me. Some hands there done. Okay, the clear one has like a bit of a highlight there, and then like this highlight here. And then she does have some highlights throughout her hair. She also has these this floral thing. I'm not sure if I should, but maybe we should. So what I'm doing here is like she's wearing this floral pattern thing that kind of gave some interest in the image here, even though it might not make sense. I thought it really helped the initial image. Okay, so let's try to Alright, so I'm just adding some highlights and some dark areas. I feel like it's getting close. She's kind of got like alright, let's see where this goes. Gotta soften some of these new lines here. Also, I feel like we need some darker focus towards the end here. How do these dark areas of this thing work? Something like that. Whoops. All right, there's our clarinetist. Clarinet player. Let me go ahead and finish it off with a little bit of a highlight here. Maybe a highlight on her nose. Feel like there's a highlight here, maybe here. Well, you know what? It's not my favorite of the drawings we've done here on stream. But moving on. Was it fun? Yeah, it was fun. That's the thing about art. It's like sometimes they look good, sometimes they look bad, but if you're doing it right, it should be fun every time. Moving on. In that case, it's a victory. But Toenail, thank you for making a request. 5-year experience clarinet player. Very cool. I'm a musician as well. I'm a guitarist. You love how it's looking? Well, thank you. Art is in the eye of the beholder. Rag says, hi. Hello, Rag. Are you also an artist? Oh, look at Catherine. Catherine Duchess, are you still hanging out with us? Nice to see you. Appreciate you hanging out. Be sure to like and follow or subscribe, or if you want to hop over to the Twitch, we're also streaming there. We've got a horizontal stream here on YouTube. But if you want to join the Discord, you could share some of your art with us and we'll take a look at it. But let's do another drawing. Okay, here we go. All right, let me try to maybe suss things out a little bit, because sometimes I'll just start going and not even like measure things out. But let's measure things out a little bit. You know? Something like that. You know, and I think it's also fun to hold my pencil in a way that's difficult to control. To that point, sometimes I'll just draw with the wrong hand, you know, because why not? Hello, Meow Man. Kitty cat. Yeah, so if you draw with your weak hand, it'll kind of have you drawing interesting lines that you might not draw otherwise. So that's fun, if you want to try that. I love to do that. Alright. And then this arm kind of does like this. Alright. At any point, if you can tell what I'm drawing, tell me in the chat. Be like, oh, I see it. I know what it is. It's this. Oh, cool. You also play guitar? That's very cool. Well, hang around. I often do play some guitar on the stream. Also, don't be afraid to like or follow, subscribe, or jump over to the Twitch or something. Yeah, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Kind of feel like we were cheating since that's what we're talking about now, but That's exactly what it is. So let's focus on maybe the fingers are here. Some more of them here. Could have gave those fingies a little more attention probably, but there's no rules. So we want to do like something like that. Okay. Trying to get some dimension on that guitar. Something like that, maybe. And this particular guitar has these block inlays, so maybe we can imply that. What shape are these buttons? Something like that. Oh, see, I already like this one. This one's coming together pretty nicely. I almost could just stop and be like, that's my drawing. Love the chaos. Hey, did you say that last time? Oh, no, that was so... Football player? Good guess, though. Love the chaos. Thanks, Jesse. I appreciate that. I'm going to take that as a compliment. Be sure and like and subscribe, or head over to the horizontal stream on YouTube as well, so you can see the full stream. Okay, so let's keep moving with this guy, non-binary pal, whatever they decide to be here. Alright, so that's pretty good. Alright, so let's find some shadows. It's a little confusing here because they have like a music stand in front of them that I'm going to not draw. Okay, something like that. Here, something like this. So again, I'm just trying to find shadows in the image. I'm looking at a drawing on, I'm looking at a photograph online of a jazz guitarist. But I want to put all the pieces on the page, but they don't have to be in the right order or in the right place. Just as long as I'm putting the pieces on the sheet of paper, I tell myself it's a win. So as I go on, when I do decide to move to more realistic stuff, I have, I've given myself a culture or a permission to, like, have fun and like, kind of like tell myself that it's fun to make art. So instead of like often feeling frustrated, like art can feel sometimes, if you do some art that's like purposefully not nice to look at instantly, but more about like just kind of giving yourself permission to have fun, I think, it can help out in all the styles of art you do. I mean, it can help you in life in general, like I've said before, like knowing what to take seriously and what to just like let slide. It's like you always practice taking things seriously, but practice a little bit just like not taking it too seriously and just letting it fall out of your hand. Scribble a little bit, let go of control just a little bit every now and again. I drew his face where he's supposed to be looking this way, but like it almost looks like he's looking that way. Let me look at the chat. Looks great. First time here. Well, thanks for hanging out, Jesse. Be sure and subscribe, or if you like Twitch as well, come on over to the Twitch. And don't forget, y'all, here's my face. There's a horizontal stream as well. We're restreaming. So if you click on the YouTube channel, Gabriel Saint Art, there's a horizontal stream that sees a little bit more of the room and what's going on, and my ugly face. It makes the viewer think about it more. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm just. Okay, so next up is the highlights. So again, I don't know if I'm gonna put the highlights in the right spots. Oh, let me feed the kitty cat. So again, like kind of thinking like cubism, where it's like we want to put all the highlights down, but it doesn't matter if they're all exactly in the right places. So let's just find our highlights and pull them back out, you know? And when I'm drawing with my eraser, I kind of feel like it kind of feels like sculpting for some reason. But that's a thing that you can also work on is like reductive work in your art instead of feeling like it's always putting stuff down. Um, Sometimes you can pull highlights out of the drawing instead of feeling like you always have to add more. Sometimes uh, it's subtraction. Sometimes try maybe taking away instead of adding to, you know. And I think that's something that like is not intuitive in art, is like that you can take away rather than always adding to, you know. Whoa. Um, some people, let me see. Some people try too hard when they draw. You're supposed to just express yourself like you're doing here. Well, thank you. I like the highlight step. Thanks, Toenail. Looks like the Joker. Funny. Yeah, when you draw expressively, and like it's not the only way. There's other artists find their own way to their relaxation and their fun. To some artists, the way they express themselves is slowing down and putting everything in the right place, and that's cool too. Wherever you find your self expression is totally okay. And this is just a particular way that I'm currently working, and I found it to be the most fun and the most expressive, and it's a way for me to like imagine something and then show somebody like almost instantly, hey, this is what I'm thinking. And for some reason that's fulfilling when somebody can see what you're imagining, you know. So I'm doing the same thing here. I'm just looking at the highlights in the photograph, and then um, bringing them out, but not being so concerned with whether they're all in the right places. Okay, so let's find some details on this guitar because it's feeling a little loose, but I feel like we can. I feel like we can kind of give it some love here. There's like a there, here. There's a nice like binding all the way around. That's kind of interesting. Okay. And then there's like a pick guard thing here, which also has a binding. I don't want to get too in the weeds on the details here, but also just like they don't have to be in the right place. I just want to put them there, and it looks like these two knobs here are like black, you know. But let's soften them out a little bit with a piece of tissue so they don't take too much attention, but also like feel like, and also like, looks like we're like a cable coming out of the back there. All right, then let's find let's find some highlights here on this guitar. So like this part here, this part here, something like that. Again, I'm thinking reductive here, so we're not adding more pigment to the canvas. We're gonna start taking away, not canvas, but paper. So I'm thinking a lot of times, let's just do lighter lights and darker darks, you know? So anywhere there's a highlight, make sure it's the brightest highlight we can possibly get it. And then I think that's it. I think I'm done. What y'all think? You loved how the guitar came out? Thanks, Toenail. Likes the highlight. Looks like the swiggles on the fingers almost appear to show the motion of the playing. Very cool, Jesse. Thanks for noticing. That one, Toenail, there's no one way of drawing things. There's whatever your brain creates on that. That's right. Also loved how the guitar came out. Thanks, Toenail. Hey, Georgie. Just joined. Who is he drawing? I'm just drawing random jazz musicians off of the internet. You can make a request if you like. Let's do another one. Georgie, be sure and like or subscribe or follow. We're also on Twitch. And if you click on the page, we're also restreaming horizontally. If you want to see... if you want to see my face and more of the room, we have a horizontal stream that's also on YouTube and Twitch. Also, y'all, what's up, Barbara? Welcome. Georgie, Barbara, Toenail, I've already asked you, though. Jesse, if you're an artist, what kind of art do you do? What kind of stuff do you tend to draw? What kind of art do you like? Also, if you want to join the Discord and share some of your art with us, we could take a look. So feel free to share, and it doesn't have to be visual art. If you're a musician or a writer or anything, join the community. Again, we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, vertically and horizontally. Be sure to like and subscribe or follow or whatever whatever your social media preference does. Okay, we're gonna do another one. I'm gonna sharpen my pencil. All right, so let's measure this guy out a little bit here, something like that. Let's draw with our left hand here, so we have a little less control. You know, and the thing about drawing with your less dominant hand and not having control is that you have to learn to still function when you don't have control. Yeah, you know, and that's how you don't have control over your everything in your life all the time. And I like to think that if you do art right, you're not just getting better at art, you can just get better at being a person. And it's one of those things where you can just sit at home alone and get better at being yourself. And like that's why they call art exercises, because much like going and jogging, um, you get healthier, from jogging or doing exercises. And I think people forget that art is the same way, that like sometimes when you're making art, it's not about having the perfect piece of art. It's just about doing the exercise and walking away with the benefits. It's like if you go for a jog, you're not always, it's not a marathon, and you're not a professional jogger. You're not trying to win some kind of race every time. Maybe all you're doing is being healthy, And I think art, people forget that art's the same way. Like sometimes we're not always trying to win a race or do the best drawing. Sometimes it's just about doing the exercise and bettering myself, or becoming a better person. Does that make sense? Can you draw a person playing a euphonium? Yeah, I can do that next. Gotta run. Thanks for hanging out, Jess. It was nice to meet you. Hope to see you again. What's up, Tippy Top? Lenny, can I draw a dog? Yeah, sure I can. Tippy, and Lenny, can you like and subscribe? That'll definitely have me do your request. He's a poetry artist. I can draw a dog. I love dogs. I'm currently drawing a vase called Art and Exercise. Dang, then why ain't I losing weight? Because it's not an exercise of your body, it's an exercise of your mind, you know? What's up, Keith? Be sure and like and subscribe. And we are also co-streaming or restreaming on YouTube, and Twitch. So if you want to see like the horizontal stream, click on the link at the page, and you can see the full stream. If you're on the vertical stream, you're not seeing the full stream, you're just seeing the vertical. You can stay there, but there's a horizontal stream on YouTube if you just click the link, and there's also one on Twitch. So whatever your preferable social media of choice is, we gotcha. So again, I like to try to put all the pieces on the page, but they don't have to necessarily be in the right order, if that makes sense. So like if you know anything about cubism, it's about looking at a picture from a couple different vantage points, and so when I'm drawing the image and like I try to put an ear or a nose or a hand somewhere, and let's say I feel like maybe it didn't put it in the exact right place, I think it's okay. It's a contrabass. It's just like a big cello. I don't understand. If I can draw, then how come I can't do color theory? What's up, a Google page? Well, drawing and color theory are like two different art forms, almost in a way that kind of work together. So it's like saying, I'm good at drawing, so why am I not good at sculpting? And it's like, well, because they're two different art forms that you kind of have to discipline yourself to do. But like, just like I'm saying that life and drawing are similar, all the arts are similar too, and it's a lot about just like dedication and practice, and going through the exercise of drawing. And maybe you got to go through the exercise of color theory, so take some time where you're not trying to use color theory in your art. Maybe you're just doing color theory exercises. So instead of like, hey, I'm going to draw a perfect picture and then I'm going to use color theory to bring it to life, it's like you're doing multiple exercises at one time could be kind of distracting. It's like just focus on the one thing, to have a piece where it's just color theory and don't worry about anything else in the picture at all. You know. So in this current thing that I'm doing, I'm just kind of doing an exercise in kind of like um, enjoying expressive line work. So I like to say it's like writing your signature. It's like you can do your signature so many times that it starts to be fun to write your signature. So I try to draw these lines in a way that feels fun, like I'm doing a signature, and focusing on um, the expression of having a nice time through the lines can be more important than, you know, getting everything right. You know, now I'm just using a paper towel to smear. Every time I do this, it makes me so nervous. It just like ruins all the work I did. But you gotta trust the process, you know? Gotta trust the process. Here, let me chat with y'all. What's up, a Google page? Did you subscribe? Practice makes perfect. That's damn true. No one even knows what shading is near me. They literally paint but don't know what shading is. I see it. It's coming to life. Well, thanks, Toenail. Well, Tippy Top, are you an artist? What kind of art do you do? Tell me a little bit about the work you do. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing I was doing earlier, but I'm just going to try to find highlights, you know, and if they're in the right spots, cool. If they're not, you know, that's fine too. Oh, I can see some mistakes here, but I'm not going to judge them. I'm just going to draw right on top of it. Even if it's not in the right spot, that's all right. Nobody knows where it's supposed to go. So we're just going to try to put the pieces on the page. They might not be in the right spots, but it's okay. Cause you know, like who cares? Who cares? And it's up to me to kind of like decide what the parameters of the art is. You know, if I've decided I'm gonna do something very realistic, then that's what I'm gonna hold myself to. But if I've decided that I'm just gonna do something that's an exercise in restraint or an exercise in expression, then that's what I'll focus on. I see a man with a guitar. Hey, Monique. Be sure and like or subscribe and follow. We're also on a horizontal stream. If you click on the name of the channel, it'll bring you to the horizontal screen. You can see the rest of the stream. Toenail says, I see it coming to life. I see a man. Welcome to the room. What's up, Green Grass? Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for the compliment. Be sure and subscribe. Join the channel. We're restreaming also horizontally on YouTube. If you want to find us, just click the link. We're also on Twitch. Tippy Top says, I don't have an art style yet, but I'm an animator and a digital artist and a traditional artist. Well, very cool. You'll find your style soon. Just keep working. Just keep working. Here's my sweet boy. Look at the camera, buddy. Yeah, more of him on the horizontal stream. You could check out the Discord as well. That's a lot of artists, but you do you. I don't know what I do. It's all in mind. I'm in school for being a tattoo artist, and I'm already a musician. That's very cool. I have a bunch of tattoos. That Toenail. Join the Discord. Share some of your art. That's a cute cat. Thank you. Oh, okay. So we're just focusing on highlights here. Are they in the right spots? Don't care. I can see he's got a highlight here. And sometimes when I'm starting with the highlights, it's fun to start with their forehead. Okay, so this I'm doing forehead, cheeks, maybe down the nose there, bottom lip, chin, maybe like cheek and an ear here. So they have a highlight on the base, and then there's like a highlight down here on the base as well. There's also that F hole there, but I don't want to get too much into the weeds over there. There's a lot of highlighted area on this side of the picture altogether, so I want to make sure we know that this is where the light's coming from. You know, I will say that this particular person, I guess it's kind of part of what the image is wearing the striped shirt, and I'm going to imply it. Okay, and maybe it'll bring some of these things together, but I want to. It made it interesting. This is the second time I've kind of went back to add the pattern, but I will say that I'm glad that I kind of wait till the end to see if like I need that pattern of the clothing they're wearing. And I feel like in this particular one, and actually in the last one, it kind of adds to the rhythm of the drawing in a way, you know. Oh, that's a softer charcoal than I wish it was. And see, we're just kind of pushing and pulling, because now that I'm smudging that around, we're gonna have to go back and find some highlights again. So if that's the case, let's keep adding some more dark areas. So let's find the darkest area. So like mouth, nose, eyes. Again, I don't want to control too much, but we do want to add more we want to add more contrast and detail to areas we want the viewer to look, you know. So I'm going to kind of go back and add some more details to the areas that I feel like maybe are important. You know, felt like this needed to be wider here. And nobody told me I can't wait till now to fix it, so that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, and then maybe we can catch this F hole now. You know, something like that. And then let's go ahead and start finding some more highlights. Actually, maybe we should smudge a little bit now. Hold up, I'm sorry, let me catch up. Hey, share what? Share your art on Discord. Yeah. It's not professional though. It's okay. We're all learning. There's a lot of students on the Discord. That's basically what it is. Just a bunch of people kind of learning their own styles. It's all good. You'll see. My old art teacher made us only do realism. I mean, I love realism, but there was some abstract artists in that class, and she got fired or something. Realism's cool too, you know, very nice. Do you cover other mediums, or are you more focused on graphite and charcoal? I do a bunch of different mediums. I just feel like the fast expressiveness that comes from charcoal works really well on stream. But thanks for the question, Tiner Bickus. Not sure how to say that. Are you an artist, Tiner Bickus? How you pronounce that? What kind of art do you do? If you have some questions, I do oil and graphite. I could show you some more of my work, but what's up, Pistol Ball? How are you? Thank you so much for the compliment. Also, if you're just joining, we are vertical on Twitch and on YouTube. So if you want to find us there, it's a little bit of a higher quality experience. But if you're in the chat right now, tell me, are you an artist? What kind of art do you do? If you want to join the Discord, you can find some of those links on Twitch. If you want to find us there. Or hanging out here is vertical too. Don't be afraid to give us a like or a follow or a subscribe or whatever platform you're on. I appreciate the support. Also, if you want to share your art in the Discord, you can get some feedback there. Also, towards the end of the streams, if we get to hanging out, we'll take a look at the Discord while we're on stream. Y'all, I don't usually work on a drawing for this long, but I'm kind of liking this one, so I'm gonna just keep going, but I feel like I have to stop pretty soon or I'm gonna overwork it. So let's just add a couple more details and then call it. All right, so we just want to give it the sharpest highlights we can in a couple of these places. I'm just using a couple different kinds of erasers to kind of get a couple different kinds of highlighted lines, you know? Well, that's a fun line. I like that one. Little says your 5-year-old baby could draw this. Dang, she must be talented. It's a style. Don't be judgmental. Oh, it's okay. It's not for everybody. Some people just don't get it, and that's fine. You know, sometimes you have to do something realistic to prove somebody that you can do something expressive. But it's not about that person being judgmental. It's just about them not understanding the context, you know? Because everything works in context. But, it's not for everybody. And man, I like realistic artwork as well. That's just not what I'm doing. I'm trying to have fun and be expressive and do something fast in a way that kind of shows as much about me as it does the subject matter. But also, you got to understand that people that make comments like that, maybe that person is talented and is able to draw realistically, or they work real hard and they know how frustrating it is to do realism. And then when you see somebody doing something that's not realism and it's working, it can be frustrating, But realism is totally respectable and amazing work that I also do as well. But sometimes I think it's okay to give yourself some grace and give yourself a break and just express yourself with some lines and kind of take the day off of your chest, instead of adding to the stress of your day. Use the drawing as a way to get the stress of your day off your chest, But everybody's got their own opinions, and I respect it. Be sure and like and follow or subscribe to Nurbicus. I don't claim myself as an artist, but I do dabble. What kind of stuff do you do, Tunerbergus? Tuner? What kind of art do you do? We have a Discord. You have to find the link on Twitch, but all right. So I like this one, y'all. I gotta be honest. I love this one. This one came together pretty nicely, I think. Look how cool that is. You know, another one of my favorite artists is Francis Bacon. I don't know if you know Francis Bacon's work, but he kind of works in a similar kind of process, and his work kind of has a similar feel, I think, and I love his work. Efter Tolf, thank you so much. That's very nice of you to say. Be sure and like and subscribe. If you want to join the Discord or if you want to check out the Twitch, if you're on vertical, we're also on horizontal stream. You can kind of see more of the room and who I am and stuff. But also feel free to be wherever you at. Here, let's get some details here. Yeah, I think this one came out really good. They don't all come out this wonderfully, but and I don't all, you know, it's in the eye of the beholder. But for some reason, I particularly like this one. I think that one came out really good. Maybe we'll put this one up for sale on the website. This one's going in the book, in the portfolio. Tuner says, I cover a little bit of everything, but I tend to be best at sketching. How would you make curves and circles with good control without having jagged corners in them? Well, Tuner, that's a pretty good question. What's up, BCGC? Tolf, are you an artist as well? Y'all be sure and like and subscribe. If you're on vertical, we're also on horizontal. We're on Twitch as well if you'd like to try that. Whatever works for you. We're going to do another drawing. If somebody wants to request something, they can. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep drawing some jazz musicians. But if somebody else wants to request something. What's up, Elijah? Godzilla! Yeah, maybe so. Looks like Godzilla playing bass. Oh, euphonium. That's what you said, huh? Okay, all right. Let's give it a shot. All right. Thank you. That's a good request. Excuse my French. Cajun French. Alright, so man, look at this. There we go. That's a good one. Love it. What a great request. Thank you, Toenail. Thank you for hanging out this whole time. And what a wonderful request. Toenail, I hope you've joined the Discord, followed the Twitch, subscribe to the YouTube, comment on some of the videos. Stick around. I hope you stay as part of the community. I appreciate you interacting, making a request. Alright, let's do another one. This is a euphonium. Goes out to that one toenail. It's a beautiful drawing. You're so talented. Thank you, Different Me. Are you an artist as well? What kind of stuff do you do if you are an artist? Also, be sure and like and subscribe, and we're going to start another one right now. There was a fella here that said his five-year-old niece could do it a better drawing, and I'm not debating that. Probably could. Okay, let me sharpen my pencils. All right, y'all ready for the magic trick? We're gonna go in. Well, thank you, Toenail. That's the nicest thing someone said in a long time. All right, so let's give this a. So let's do like here and maybe here, something like this, and then like this here. Okay. Cool, this instrument is insane, dude. So Can your how do you like that? Like a little parlor trick here where I can draw with two hands. Looks like chaos. Oh. How long have you been making art? Man, I say man. Tolf, I have been drawing since I could walk. My mom is an artist, and um, she always was painting and drawing since I was a little kid, and I just kind of learned to draw when she drew, you know. So when we were learning to write our names as little kids or learning the alphabet, um, I was also learning uh, how to draw, I guess. So it looks like maybe the other hand is down here. Oh no, no, it's if that hand is there, the other hand is here. Okay, so I made a mistake here. The euphonium players will know. That's not where a hand goes, but it's okay. We'll make it back in time. All right, again, and if you're wondering what all this chaos is at this point I'm just trying to get some lines down of where things might be on the page, and I'm not trying to be critical of myself, like whether the drawing is good or bad or whether the lines are in the right place or not. Like I don't want to judge myself. I just want to like maybe have a nice time while I'm drawing the lines. You know, I try to, as an example, try to think of it as like, you know how when you've written your name, you've done a signature so many times that it's fun to write your name. Um, I try to find that that kind of rhythm where it's like it's not how good the picture is, but like if I draw the lines over and over and over, they start to become fun just to draw the lines. And it's not about what they look like, it's just fun to draw the lines. Yes, I also do digital art as well. I'm a filmmaker and a director and a musician. I'm a painter. Looks like he's struggling to hold the euphonium. Yeah, them things are huge. I like how it started out. Thanks, Toenail. So far, it looks amazing. Thanks, Tolf. All right, so now that I've got the lines in here, the next part of the process is just smudging some lines around. You know, we could imply. You know, and you see how I kind of like just rush that line, like try not to be too concerned with it, and just kind of let it go. Um, do you think small? Do you think some small paints would add to the mood? Yeah, it definitely could. I can do some painting stuff eventually, Tuner, if that's what it is. You're interested in some kind of like input on some of your painting stuff. Uh, Join the Discord, share some of your work in the Discord, and we'll take a look at it. And if you want to share some paintings, we'll take a look at some painting techniques if you like. Oh, yeah, it's overwhelming. What are you drawing? Hey, Braybug, I'm drawing a euphonium jazz musician as a request. Since you started this live stream, how many pictures have you done? Um, let's take a look. 3 or 4. Here, we could just go through. This isn't what I've done just on stream today, but we can just go through some of the stuff I've done. What's the Discord? You're gonna have to go to the Twitch, and I can put it in the Twitch. But if you go to the Twitch, oh, do we have a mod in the Twitch? I'll get him. All right, they're banned. They're banned. Yeah, if you want to check out the Twitch, I can put a link to it there. Or maybe I can do it like this. Yeah, the best way is to just find it in the Twitch. What's the Discord? Can you Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony? I probably could. Or just from MD. Serial design, please, please. Hi, Serial. How are you? Thanks for joining. Be sure and follow and subscribe. Okay, so let's look at some of the drawings we've done. Look, there's a jazz drummer. Right. There's another face. There's a piano player. Murder drones, you're bad at typing. Uh-oh, the chat has gone haywire. These are just some more sketches we've done on stream in the past couple days. I think this may be the first one that we did today. It's a clarinet player. See, some of them I didn't love. Like, then they started getting better, you know? You just gotta keep going. What a Discord. You'll have to go, this is my favorite so far today. You'll have to go to the Twitch to get to the Discord. Those are amazing, you're really talented. Thank you, Warrior Lover 1. Wow, thank you for the compliments. Be sure and like and subscribe. We're gonna finish this jazz euphonium. Okay, the Discord link. You're just gonna have to, if you go to the horizontal stream, if you're on the vertical YouTube stream, click on the username, the page, the handle for the page, and go to the horizontal stream. You can get the full view there. Also, you can link to Twitch, and you can find the Discord link on Twitch. I don't know exactly how to tell you what the Discord is. Oh, here, let me try this. If I do this, can you see it? You have to at least find a horizontal version of the stream. All right, different me. Hey, thank you so much. All right, so let's get to smudging. And y'all, it's not. You could do this too. It's just about like practicing. You know, it's like, how hard is it to sign your name? And it's like, it's not hard to sign your name, but like, you're the only person that can sign your name the way you sign it. And to other people, they might be like, wow, the way you do your signature is pretty impressive. But you might just say, it's just because I've written my name 1,000 times. So it's like, it's not that I'm drawing the picture perfectly or anything. It's more about like, having fun with my lines, having confidence in the lines, and that I feel like a viewer can see your self-expression. They can see how you're feeling in the lines, sort of, you know? So, and I'd like to remind you, you know, for some of y'all that are hanging out for a second and that have kind of been chilling, is, hey, what's up? You're definitely not you're definitely not useless. Be sure and like and subscribe. If you're on a vertical stream, join us on the horizontal stream. But like, sometimes when I'm drawing, like, actively, you know, if you're an artist or a musician or whatever your art form is, like, actively take out the bad feelings that you have on the drawing. You know, like don't just say I'm gonna draw self expression, or I'm going to draw expressively, or I'm going to draw in an interesting artistic manner. Like actually spend time thinking about the stuff you're dealing with in your life. You know, think about some of the frustration at school or at home, or with your relationships with your friends and your family. When you're making art, I want you to, instead of stressing about putting all the lines in the right places, I want you to forget about that and just put all the lines in the wrong places. Who cares? But I want you to put your thoughts and your feelings into the right places. So like, think about the things in your life that aren't working. Think about the stuff in your life that is working. And when you're drawing, like, kind of get all that off your chest. Like think of it like I'm sure you've heard people say that. Would you see me catch that? Did you see me catch that when I dropped it? You've heard people say that like art is therapy, but like what does that mean? And ask yourself that, and kind of actively make art your therapy. So when you're not just drawing, you're not just saying I'm going to draw expressive lines. Like, actually express yourself in the work. Like, these lines are not just wild and chaotic or whatever it is. Like, sometimes they're expressing maybe like a wild and chaotic part of myself, you know. So I'm not just drawing, I'm exercising, I'm getting things off my chest, and I feel better when I'm done doing the drawing, you know. What's the worst hate comment that you have ever gotten since you started your YouTube account? I am a very curious person. If you don't want to respond, I understand. What's up, Abby? Thanks for joining. Be sure and say hello. Different me. I haven't got any negative comments, really, honestly. Like, I don't get very many negative comments at all. But also, like, I don't take any of it personally. I've been doing art my entire life, and I'm a musician and a filmmaker, and I've been sharing my art forever. And one thing I've learned is a lot of the times people that say negative things really just want your attention. And sometimes it's the fastest way to get attention from somebody is to just yell something negative, and they'll turn and they'll look at you, and and that gets somebody's attention. So if somebody's saying something negative, or I'm sensing something, some kind of negativity out of someone, I might just acknowledge them and just say, "Hey, I see you, and I understand that you're expressing yourself in this way because you want attention. So if somebody's saying something negative, maybe I just give them some attention, and it doesn't seem to be too bad, honestly, you know." So that is a pretty good question, and if you're wanting to do like a YouTube channel, or you're wanting to share your art, we have a community that you can come share your art with us, and feel like you're safe, and like nobody's going to attack you, and you can get some input. Be sure and follow, subscribe, join the Discord. There's a lot of really talented young artists that are kind of just bettering themselves, and also kind of just figuring it out. You have an art channel? Well, feel free. You can share it if you'd like to share it here. If you want to put it in the Discord, or all of the above, be sure and join. But thanks for asking the question. But no, I don't get a whole lot of hate comments, honestly. It's really hard to critique my drawings negatively, because, I mean, look at them. What are you going to say? That they're chaos, or they don't make sense? It's like, yeah, no shit. That's the whole thing I'm doing. It's not about how it looks, it's about how it feels while I'm doing it, and that you can see that it felt that way while I was doing it. You know, I like to think that people could see in my artwork, my self expression, even though it's not a picture of me. I'd like to think that somewhere in here, um, what people see is me. You know, I know it's not a drawing of me, but if you're putting yourself into your work, every portrait's a self portrait. You know. Yeah, of course, different me. I'm always here to respond. And we're just chatting. It's an open conversation. All right. So last but not least, let's put a little bit of, and here's a tip for artists. Um, if you want somebody to focus somewhere in a piece of your work, um, give it a high contrast. Whether you're a filmmaker or a photographer or a painter or a musician or a journalist or a chef, wherever there's high contrast, the attention of the viewer is going to go there. So be sure and put high contrast in the areas that you want people to focus. You know, if we want them to focus here on this fella's face, let's put some high contrast areas in there. Okay, that's not too bad. I don't think it's as good as our last drawing, but it's a pretty good drawing. Thank you so much for the request, y'all. A euphonium? I would have never thought. I would have never thought. And if you don't know what a euphonium is, it's like a huge French horn. Trying to get some different angles here so y'all can see. What is your favorite thing you've ever drawn? Oh, I don't know. I try not to get attached to the drawings, like to have favorites, because I draw a bunch of them real fast. So like I must like change the premise of the question. I appreciate the question of like which drawing I've ever drawn is my favorite. But like I think part of what I'm trying to do is draw so many drawings so fast in such an expressive way that I'm not attached to any of the drawings, that I don't like any of the drawings or love any of the drawings more than any of the other ones, because I'm not focused on the end product of the drawing. I'm really focused on the fun, the process of drawing here. So the drawings aren't even really the end product. The end product is having these conversations with other artists online and making these videos and doing these streams. So it's not about me having a favorite piece of art so much as having my favorite thing is making art. So it doesn't matter what drawing it is, as long as I'm drawing, I'm happy, you know. And I think that's important. You know, it's a good question. Also, don't forget that, like, you know, a lot of people get concerned, overly concerned with what's on the page, you know, and it's not that you shouldn't be concerned with what's on the page. It's that it's not the only thing you should be concerned with. Like what you're putting down on the paper, sure, it's important, but like there's something important about what's going on in your mind. And I think that if you're a creative person or you're expressing yourself or you want to do art or you're just passionate about things, that you have a superpower to take bad times and negativity and turn them into something positive. And I think that talent of being expressive and maybe being like, I had a bad day, so I'm gonna go draw. about it, or I'm dealing with conflicts in my life personally or professionally. um, I need to go make some art so I can feel better. And I think that that is a superpower in a way, that you can take negative things in life and you can turn them into something positive. And I think that sometimes we can get, and I do it too, you know, you get so concerned with trying to make the best piece of art that you can. And I think sometimes you forget that um, it's not a contest. You're not trying to make the best. You're not trying to win. You know, it's like Dungeons and Dragons, where it's not about winning. It's about having the best story. And I think sometimes your art can be the same way. And if you're not thinking about the story, or if you're not like expressing yourself, or like taking the bad times that you have and the good times that you have, and and putting that into your work. And I don't mean like, I mean literally, like, think about the good times and the bad times. And if you're dealing with conflict in your job, or you're thinking you got conflict in your life with school or with your family, and sometimes, a lot of times, you might just be in conflict with yourself, and I'm guilty of that. And and sometimes, it might be mental health conflict, or you might have conflict like with your body physically, or you might be feeling unwell, or maybe you got in a fight with your mom, or your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, or your wife, or you're dealing with drama at school. Conflict comes from everywhere in your life, all day, every day. And life can be hard on your easiest days, and I think we forget to give ourselves some grace and appreciate that when you're making art, you don't have to make things harder. Life is hard enough, so don't hold yourself to some unfair standards that you're mad at yourself because your drawing doesn't look right. Like, you have enough reasons in life to get mad, or be mad at yourself, or be mad at people. Like, I, don't forget that drawing is exercise and is expression. So take all those negative feelings out on your artwork. Um, you don't need to take those negative feelings out on yourself. You don't need to take those negative feelings out on your community, or your loved ones, or your friends and family. When you have bad times or bad feelings, take out a sheet of paper and draw about it. Write a story about it. Paint a picture about it. Draw about it. Anytime you have bad thoughts or negative feelings, like, this is what art is for. It's 100% for that, and we forget that. We think that it's about this perfect drawing of a character, but none of that really matters uh, when you're home alone making the art. Like, when you share it with people and they're like, "Oh, this is a beautiful drawing," like, that's wonderful. But sometimes that's not the goal. Like, sometimes the goal is just to feel better, you know? So I would encourage you, if you're an artist, or even if you're not an artist, if you're just watching, to give yourself some grace, and not feel like you have to know what you're doing or control it all the time. Like, take out a sheet of paper and draw a picture and let it be bad. Write a short story and crumble it up and throw it away. Draw a picture knowing it's going to be bad, and then when you're done drawing it, throw it away. But while you're doing it, make sure that you're actively expressing yourself, that you're thinking about what you're dealing with, so when you do have conflicts, you are dealing with drama at school, you can remember that you are a fucking superhero. You have a superpower. Talent of being an artist, it's an amazing superpower that you can take negativity and turn it into positivity. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. And like sometimes there's nothing in life. There's just so much negativity around you at all times. And like I said, this conflict could be from within you, from your family, from your friends, from school. But when all that negativity and all that conflict starts to weigh in on you, remember that you can write a story about it. You can draw a picture about it. You can make a film about it. You can cook a meal about it. You can jog about it. You can clean your room about it. You can go play basketball about it. It makes me emotional because it's just something that'll really change the quality of your life when you realize that you're having a tough time or you're dealing with things in your life and that all you need is a sheet of paper and a pencil, and you can start making things better. And the thing about expressing yourself through art and making negative energy into positive energy is that it's contagious. People are going to say, "Wow, I want to do that. I want to do that." And people are going to admire you, and they're going to say, "Oh my gosh, this person is talented," or "this person did something good for the community," or "this person like taught me something about life," and things like that, where it's like you're not just drawing a character, you're telling a story about life, and it's not just about the audience, it's not about the end product, it's about the exercise. Like maybe you've heard me say that it's like jogging or eating healthy. It's like art is an exercise where you should be better when you're done. You should be a better person at the end of the drawing. It's not even that you have the most amazing drawing, it's that I had the most amazing experience creating the drawing. And then when I'm done with the drawing, I could throw it away. It doesn't matter because I used it as exercise. So like if you go and jog, the jog isn't a piece of art. It's just something that's going to better yourself and make you a better person. And I don't want you to forget as an artist that there's a larger exercise here outside of just making a pretty picture. It's about finding who you are, finding the conflicts that you're dealing with in life, and finding a way to express yourself through art. And I want you to remember this, that when life gives you all these negative things, you can take all that negativity and you can transform it into something positive. You can put that into your artwork, okay? Don't take it out on your community. Don't take it out on your loved ones. Don't take it out on the drywall. Don't take it out on yourself. Don't take it out on yourself. Do not take it out on yourself. Take it out on art. Take it out on a drawing. Take it out on a poem, on a short story, on a song, on a movie. This is where all the most amazing art comes from, is self-expression, and not from drawing the perfect picture, writing the perfect story, not making the perfect song. It's from transforming negativity into positivity in front of people. Is a magic trick, and you can fucking do that too. All right, let's keep drawing. Can you draw my PFP, please? I don't know what PFP is, but we just finished the sketchbook. So we gotta find another one. Hey, kitty man. Y'all, I go through sketchbooks so fast. Hey, kitty buddy. You want some more food? Or are you telling me I need to eat? Okay, we're gonna stream for another half hour. Buddy, let me feed the kitty cat. All right, we're gonna do another jazz musician unless somebody has a request. What is a PFP? Draw my PFP, Alex Ramey says. But also, what's up, Alex? What's up, Different Me? What's up, Tolf? What's up, Abby? What's up, Elijah? How are y'all doing? Y'all still hanging out? What's up, I'm Not Useless? What's up, Warrior Lover? What's up, Zanny? Oh, PFP is my profile picture. Thank you, Zanny. What's up, dude? You should check it out. We're doing the restream on YouTube as well. Got a lot of people in the vertical today. If you want to come hop in over there and hang out. Draw your profile picture. I don't think I can because it's so small. The drawing turned out so good. Thank you, Tolf. 10 out of 10. Thank you, Abby. Cool, Elijah. What is your favorite thing you've ever drawn? I think. Oh, I've zoomed. I've brought it back. Give me his profile picture, I think. Thanks, Abby. What are you going to draw next? I think I'm just going to draw a jazz musician. I couldn't see what your profile picture was. I'm just drawing jazz musicians unless somebody wants to make a request. Sandy says, did not figure out how to do the Twitch mix chat display. No, not yet. Also, like the vertical streams and the horizontal streams are not on the same thing. It's a whole thing, but whatever. We're still there streaming. Trying to make sure we're in stream. So yeah, if you're on Twitch, you can join us on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you can join us on Twitch. If you're watching us vertically on YouTube, we're also horizontally on YouTube. So you can see like a full screen if you want to see my my ugly face. Join in the horizontal YouTube or hop onto the horizontal Twitch. Also, if you're an artist and you'd like to share your art, we have a Discord. The links are on Twitch. You can join the Discord and share your art and your drawings, and we can take a look at it. Okay, what do we got? Also, if you don't want to call me then call me Peanut. It's a nickname I've had for a long time. All right, either one's fine. Different is fine. Peanut's fine. What's up, Zoo? How are you, my dude? Alto sax. You're not ugly, by the way. Well, thank you, Peanut. This is a different angle for sure. Yeah, is it weird, Zanny? Zanny's a regular moderator from... he's been with us for a long time now. I'm so up close. Yeah, like I said, if you want to join the horizontal, where it's a much... it looks like... it's a higher quality stream, but hey, maybe you want this personal iPhone vibe. Chattington, what's up? How are you? Thanks for joining. Again, if y'all are artists, tell me a little bit about your artwork in the chat here. Share your art in the chat if you'd like. Be sure and pop over to the Twitch or the horizontal YouTube stream and stay in the community. All right. right, so we're gonna go wild here. We're gonna do a saxophone again. Can you draw? What's a violin? You mean Is that what you mean? Elijah likes Godzilla. You want me to do a drawing of Godzilla? Can you draw a violin player? All right, so we got a request for an alto sax, and then we'll do a violin next. Do you like the new Godzilla movie or something? What makes you like Godzilla, Elijah? You want me to draw a picture of Godzilla? Did you like, as everybody here in the chat, have you liked and subscribed or followed? Please do me a favor and sub to the YouTube channel. It helps me a whole lot. If you're just watching and you just chat, just say hey in the chat. Dude, it puts the chat onto the YouTube homepage. If you thumbs up, it also helps so much. I appreciate it. And I'm sure y'all know, if you're an artist, you know how tough it is to be an artist. And everybody's saying it's impossible to be an artist or to stream. And y'all, I'm doing art and streaming at the same time, and it's impossible. So do me a favor and like, subscribe, share, follow us on Twitch, join the Discord. I sure would appreciate it. Everything is art, you're right. Do blacksmithing. Damn, that's crazy. That's art, though. That's still the same thing. Art is art is art. Okay, so y'all help me remember. We're going to do an alto sax player. I'm going to do a fucking wild one here, and then we're going to do a violinist. All right, and then then I'm going to have some pizza. Maybe we'll keep streaming. We've been streaming for 2 hours. What if we do an 8-hour stream? Will y'all hang out with me here for 8 hours if I draw a picture every 10 minutes for the next 8 hours? Draw a mermaid. Okay, so so far we've got alto sax, violin player, Godzilla, and a mermaid. All right, Godzilla and a mermaid, y'all. We're going way off track here. If you want that kind of request, you have to stick around. Be sure you're liking and following. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel and you go follow the Twitch channel and you comment on a video on the YouTube channel, I'll draw your mermaid. I'll draw your Godzilla. I'm doing jazz musicians, so you don't have to do all that stuff. But if you go do those things, I'll take any request. Taking jazz musician instrument request for a sub alone. If you sub, I'll do a jazz instrument request. If you want me to draw something that's not a jazz musician, Godzilla, something like Godzilla or something, I need you to subscribe to the YouTube, follow the Twitch, give me a comment, and I'll take any request. Ooh, playing a triangle. That would be something a blacksmith would request. What's up, GG? GG money. All right. Also, Zanny, what up, dude? How you been? It's nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. What you been doing? Nice to have you in here with all the wild ones. We're doing another two-hander here. Doing another two-hander, and I am kind of ambidextrous, but I'm not necessarily drawing with my non-dominant hand. By the way, this drawing is gonna trick y'all. Specifically picked one that was gonna be hard to figure out. All right, do you see it yet? But I like to use two different hands because it kind of gets me out of my comfort zone. It forces me to draw kind of different kind of lines. Oh, what's up? You're a singer? I'm a musician. I'm a singer and a guitarist as well. If you sub to the YouTube channel, you can go see some of me singing and playing guitar and stuff like that. What's up, Joanne? Joanne Riley, how are you? Abaduza Rouge. You're a singer. Well, go join the Discord and share us some of your music so we can check it out. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? What are we doing here? What is this crazy nonsense I'm doing? Okay, all right. So I can be okay with this. We're getting there. It's not gonna make sense to you until the very end. It's gonna be one of those kind of drawings. Okay, so now let's put in some shadows. Okay, so there's like a shadow here. And again, like I am like drawing what I'm drawing. You know, I am like specifically looking at all the right lines and angles, but I'm not judging myself yet. Like I'm not like gonna be upset if the drawing doesn't look like I want it to. I'm trying to not want the drawing to look like anything. So it's like it's not about putting pressure on myself to draw this picture correctly. It's about how can I not do that? And it's a shame to say that you have to like teach yourself not to be mean to yourself while drawing. It's like there's this instinct that we have as humans that is like be mean to yourself while you're making art for some reason. Like we tell ourselves if you're not drawing well or you're not doing it good, then you're a terrible person or you're not going to get better. And I'm not sure why our instincts do that, but they do, you know. But when I'm doing these drawings, I'm trying to remind myself that uh, there's no reason to be critical of myself like that, and that it's okay to kind of just maybe have fun while doing this thing I like to do, and not get mad at myself for it not being amazing the first time. And you know, you can't make amazing art every single day, you know. Also, this is a very tricky one. Can anybody see what's happening yet, or is it total chaos to everybody still? Okay, thank you. My sister is a jazz player. She does clarinet, oboe, and a percussionist. Very cool. She must be talented. Can anybody tell what's going on here, or does it still just look like chaos? All right, so we got some shadows in. Let's start doing some highlights. Okay, so let's see, highlight here, highlight here. And again, I'm trying to, if I see a highlight, I want to make sure I put that highlight in, but I'm not going to be critical about if the highlight is in the right spot perfectly or not. It's just like that highlight needs to be there, put it there. If I look back and I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's the exact right spot, so what? So what? It doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm just trying to have a reason to put some lines on the sheet of paper. It doesn't have to be there's no rules, you know. So whatever expectations you have for your artwork are, you come up with those. You come up with those reasons. You come up with those rules of how your artwork should look. And if you want to center your attention on mental health, like I want to draw this picture because it's going to make me feel better mentally when I'm done with it. I think that is an admirable thing to do, is to say, hey, I'm not going to try to impress you with how amazing I can draw. Maybe you won't even see the drawing. I'm just going to express myself, you know? And I think there's an art to that, and there's a talent to that, and it takes hard work to kind of figure out how to do that. Yeah, no, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. We're not there yet. I'm purposely making this one hard. I'm withholding the details, so you can't tell exactly what it is. Okay, all right. So this is probably gonna give it away, because y'all know what those scribbles mean by now. All right. So now we'll actually do the rest of this guy. So so we're not guessing what it is the whole time. Alright, so it's got so many gadgets and gears, it's crazy. Alright, does anybody see it yet? Is anybody seeing it yet? Same thing here. Got a lot of who's a what's its and things. Did anybody see it yet? Yeah, it's the alto sax. He's just going, he's playing it like this. His head's down here. His hands are up here, and he's playing the alto sax. Wait. See him? Oh, I knew that would be a tough one. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, I was kind of withholding some of the details that I thought might give it away to make it fun. So that's what happened there. So let's go ahead and bring some more of these highlights out. See what we got. Okay, so there's a highlight through here. And again, I want y'all to try this. If you're an artist, or even if you're not an artist, I want you to make some art with no concern for whether it's good or not. I want you to, when you have a bad day, I want you to break out a notebook, and I want you to randomly write poetry about how you feel. That doesn't have to make sense, it doesn't have to rhyme, it doesn't have to be good. And then throw it away if you want. Keep it, look at it later, or don't. I think open up start working on that novel when you've had a bad day and the world is against you. Open up a book and start writing that novel you've been wanting to write. If you're having a bad day and you're dealing with negativity from the world, open up your Photoshop or your digital drawing app and start designing that original character that you've been thinking about. And be easy on yourself about it, because it's hard work to be it's just hard work to live life every single day and in the best circumstances. And a lot of time artists have big emotions and big feelings, and that it can take a toll on us, So don't forget that you get to set those expectations on yourself. You get to tell yourself what's important and what's not, and don't forget that you're not just scribbling on a sheet of paper. You're getting out. You're getting out the stuff that you shouldn't be forced to carry around, And I also think that the better you get at expressing yourself, the more people are going to like your artwork, and the better your artwork's going to get. And the more you'll get to be yourself, All right, I think that's done. I think that's our guy. Maybe this line needs to be extended so we kind of understand what's happening. Like that. That jazz man's going off. See it now. Thanks for doing my request. I never really get realized in any live streams. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for hanging out, different me. Peanut. I love to do requests. Okay, so next up, so this was the alto sax. Next up, we're gonna do a violinist. And then we talked about Godzilla and something else. I gotta have proof of subs and follows and comments. Also, y'all, I'm getting hungry. Gotta have some pizza soon. Also, what are you doing? Have you been hanging out with me, or you been on your computer all day? Stand up, stretch yourself. Go get you a glass of water. Stretch your back. Stretch your hands. Go look outside a window. Get something to eat. Hug your partner. Kiss your kitty cat. Have a good time. All right. With that said, y'all be prepared for me to wind down. So we're probably going to do another 10 minutes here, and then we're going to get out of here. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, Tolf. Y'all, I don't want to. When I get off of this stream, I don't want to never hear from y'all again. Be sure that you've subscribed, that you stay active in the comments here, that you come hang out the next time we stream. Oh, that's lovely. Join the Twitch, join the Discord. Stay in touch, please. All right, so let's see what we got now. Okay, that's a pretty good one. All right. All right, y'all ready? We're starting a new one. What days do I stream? I stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. In the evenings. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday evenings. If you go to the YouTube channel or the Twitch, either one, and you go look at the VODs, I put the schedule on the VODs. It's hard to put the schedule in the vertical. If you're in the vertical, don't be afraid to check out the horizontals. If you click on the link, you'll see. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. I'm just going to draw with one hand this time. Okay. All right. All right. Okay, but although I'm drawing with one hand, I am going to hold it in some strange ways just to kind of add to the difficulty a little bit for some reason. Okay, as soon as you see it, what I'm drawing, tell me in the chat you see it. Okay, so is this where it's going? Something like that. You know, you don't have to put all the right lines down the first time, you know? Like make some mistakes and get used to making some mistakes. Get used to not having control and being happy. You know, that's a good lesson for life because you're not always going to have control of whatever's going on in your life and whatever goes on in your world, but you can still be happy, you know? Yo, what's up, Zoo? You made it over to the horizontal, my dude. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Well, if you're here over at the horizontal, I might as well hit you with the schedule. Boom. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evening. Y'all, if you want to click on the link and meet us in the horizontal, it's a little bit of more of a cinematic experience. Am I right, Zoo? What do you think about the experience is definitely different in the horizontal, am I right? Am I right? You know? But come on in. We love you in the vertical. We love you in the horizontal. It's all good either way. All right, let's keep going here. Okay. So I am looking at the drawing and I am trying to draw what's on the drawing, but I'm not gonna be very critical about whether everything's in the right spot or not. I'm just gonna, again, like, the quality of the lines are important to me. Like, are the lines fun to draw? and if the lines are fun to draw, then I think that I'm on to the right path of what I want to do. And if I'm starting to feel frustrated in the process, I try to remind myself that frustration is only like the beginning of the process, and like you have to push through that little bit of frustration, because the only on the other side of frustration is where the magic happens, and it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be frustrated while you're making your art, but I want you to focus on the fact that the frustration is a small part of the art, and it's to be understood. It's obvious. If you're gonna start making art and you just jump in, it's frustrating. It's just as hard to draw a pretty piece of art as it is to draw a piece of art that's fun. And sometimes it's like, hey, let's draw the perfect piece of art, and sometimes it's like, let's draw the most fun piece of art. And also like giving your grace to understand the difference between when it's time to draw the perfect piece of art and when it's time to draw the piece of art that's the most fun to make, and I think some of the lessons in life, or the lessons as an artist, is knowing the difference of when to take something seriously, when to think something is important, and when to just like let it slide. It's not a big deal sometimes. Would I say dance is a form of art? 100%. Of course it is. Of course it is. Um, Dance is a very, not only is it a part of art, it's one of the most important fundamentals of art. I think there's something about dance that if if there wasn't dance, would any of the other art forms even exist? I think dancing is one of the most important fundamental art forms ever created. Just like singing is, or music is. The wonderful thing about an art form like dance is that you don't need you don't need anything. Your body is the instrument. If you're a singer or a dancer, you don't need anything to make your art. Your art is innate to human existence, and I think that's a very beautiful thing about dance, is that it's part of just being a human. You know, uh, Dances. It's the kind of art form that we all innately have. You know, and I think it's the same thing. Like, we all innately want to sing and hum and draw and doodle and dance. I think they're all parts of it. But like, dancing is one of those beautiful things where you don't need a sheet of paper and a piece of charcoal to express yourself. You know, it's one of the wonderful things if you're having a tough time in life, or you're dealing with stress or drama. You know, you can go dance about it and feel better, and that's beautiful. And I'm gonna reiterate it again. Like, if you're making art, I want you to forget that, like, life is tough in the easiest circumstances. For the most privileged of people, life still hurts. Emotions are hard to deal with on a daily basis. um, Juggling personalities at school or at work, or in your personal life with your parents, or just with yourself. There's so many difficulties and conflicts in life. And if you can find something like dance, or you can find something like art or music, where when the world gets so loud that you just can't like deal with it anymore, you can go lock yourself in a room and dance, or draw, or make music. But I think and maybe it's not art that you do. Maybe you work out, or you're an athlete, or or you're an accountant, or whatever, however you lose yourself in programming, or it even could be video games, but like finding that space to let your self have fun, and to actively let go of all that self critique and all the drama you deal with life. Like I think it's important to take the time to give yourself some grace and some permission to just not be perfect, not draw a perfect picture, and just let the day melt off a little bit. Abby says she does dance class twice a week. That sounds awesome. Yeah, of course that's art. But I want you to remember, like when you're in there and you're doing your dance class, that it's not just about doing a pretty dance. It's also about like becoming a better person, getting healthier mentally and physically. Like when you spend time in there and you're working with other artists and other dancers, and you're getting better, and you're crafting your art, you're becoming a better person. You're becoming a better artist, and I appreciate that, and I notice that, and other people do too. You might not realize right out the gate, but when you're able to express yourself through art, um, people can appreciate that. It's something that people have been seeing in humans for thousands of years. So don't when sometimes people act like art is not as important as other things, but art is something that we've been doing as humans for as long as we've been humans. And if you can find the time to express yourself, and people are willing to stop and take a look at it, you're one of the most lucky, you're one of the luckiest people on the planet. And people will also start to realize that you are. When you start to express yourself, and you start to take the negativity that you see in life, and you start to turn it into positivity through art, people start to notice things like that, and people start to get inspired by things like that. People start to talk to you and ask you, and tell people about you, because not because you draw the perfect picture, because they see that maybe there's something negative going on in life, and somehow you're able to do something that allows you and them to kind of just forget about it for now. There's so much things in life that put so much stress and drama on us, and we never take time to say, hey, what's something that doesn't put stress on me? What's something that doesn't add drama in my life? And art is the perfect thing where you can take negative energy from life and turn it into something that's not negative anymore. And don't forget, when if you're dancing, or you're playing violin, or you're writing a story, these are all the perfect way to deal with the negativity in your life. And you're all going to deal with negativity, and the conflicts in your life that might come from school, and it might come from work. It might come from your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, or your non-binary partner. It might come from yourself. Sometimes we deal with mental health issues, and sometimes we deal with physical health issues, and all these things can stack up on our backs and in our minds, and people start to think of terrible, irrational things. And I want you to know that when you start to feel bad or negative, or the weight of the world starts to get too much for you to carry, is that you're not alone, and that you're not the first person to feel that way, and that we all feel that way, and that when you do feel that negativity and all that weight starts to bear down on you, is that is an opportunity for you to show the world what you're made of, and not through making the perfect choices or drawing the perfect picture, but just by the simple act of turning negative energy into positive energy. So when you do, and let the world see it happen, when you do get the world weight on your back and it just keeps getting heavier and heavier. Write that book, paint that painting, write that story, start programming that video game, create that original character. But take all that negativity that you're dealing with and express yourself. Put it into your artwork. And I'm going to remind you that when all this stuff, that negativity, it gathers up in your life, it can get as heavy as Thor's hammer. And that negativity is so heavy that if you drop it, it would fall through the earth. That weight of negativity is so heavy. But if you're an artist or you have a passion or you're able to express yourself, you have this amazing opportunity. You have this amazing talent when the negativity shows up. And you can turn that negativity into a drawing or a writing or a movie or a book or a song or a dance. You're doing something amazing. You have that superpower. You're a fucking superhero because you can take that negativity and turn it into something positive. So don't forget, when negativity starts to stack up on you, when the world starts to stack up on you, and whether you're dealing with conflict from work, or you're dealing with conflict from school, or you're dealing with conflict from your partner, or just conflicts within yourself, your mental health, your physical health, don't take it out on your community. Don't take it out on your friends and family. Don't take it out on your loved ones. Don't take it out on the drywall. And most importantly, don't take it out on yourself. Don't take it out on yourself. Don't take it out on yourself, okay? Take it out on art. Take all that negativity and people will see it. They're going to be inspired by it. And it's contagious, and they're going to want to do it too, and they're going to want to see what you're doing, and you're going to become close friends. You're going to inspire your community. You're going to become a talented artist. You are that person. You're becoming a better person every day, and I see you, and I'm proud of you. And if you haven't heard it today or you haven't heard it often enough, I love you. I'm proud of you. You're becoming a better person and a better artist every day. Keep that shit up. Great fucking job. Be proud of yourself. Give yourself some grace. I'm proud of you. I love you. I'll see you next time. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, follow, comment. Go check out the other streams. You want that Godzilla drawing? What was the other request? The mermaid drawing? I can still do those. Be sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and we'll do them again. I'm not scheduled to stream again till Tuesday, but we might stream again before that. Before we get out of here, let's look through some of the drawings we did today. Here's our violinist. Here's our saxophonist. Remember where we started. I don't remember exactly where we started today, but here's a piano player. Here's just a dude. Saxophone. Trumpet. Clarinet, guitar, stand-up bass, the euphonium, another trumpet, and that's it. That's what we did today, y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for chatting with me. Thank you for being part of the Twitch stream or the YouTube stream, the vertical stream. Thanks for being here. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, join the Discord. Zoo, Abby, Tulf, Different Me, Peanut. Y'all, make sure you've subscribed. I don't want to stream again and not see y'all, so please become part of the community. I would love to see y'all hang around, make some more requests. Joanne, Gigi Money, Elijah Martinez. I appreciate y'all coming in and making requests. Chaddington, Zanny, if you're still here, what up, dude? How you been? What's up? What you working on? We'll have a chill chat soon. All right, but I gotta eat some dinner. Here's the thing. I might stream in an hour from now, but I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna grab a bite to eat. I'm gonna hang out with my kitty cat. I might see you on stream again tonight. Maybe we'll be doing some guitar. Maybe we'll do painting instead of drawing. It's 2 a.m. and go to bed. Thank you, Tulf. Thanks, Abby. Later, Zoo. Because you're in UK. I stream at all kinds of times, though. It was nice meeting you. Thanks for being here. I'll see y'all soon. Remember, take it out on art.